This is a very exciting moment. Over here is a Porsche Panamera 3rd generation, and now my first impression of it is that it looks very evolutionary to what Porsche did with its previous generation Porsche Panamera. But then at the same time, this is common throughout the Volkswagen Group. They love evolution, but at the same time, minor tweaks that just make things better. Now, when it comes to the Porsche Panamera model, we can see it as a 4-door version of the Porsche Model 911, the famous Porsche which we all dream of. But the thing is, I'm not entirely sure if they share the exact same platform. And to me, when it comes to the dimensions of the Porsche Panamera, it had me thinking of something like a competitor against the Audi A8, the BMW M760 series, and the Mercedes S-Class. At this point, it is not precise. But what is very precise is that it is a 4-door Porsche, which is not an SUV. This Porsche Panamera costs 148,000 euros. Is it good value for money or not? Let's check it out. Now, this is also a Porsche Panamera. From here, we can see clearly that the new generation has a more sharp edge design at the front. It resembles a Porsche Taycan, well, the Porsche Taycan, as they call it. And because of the engine being situated at the front, the Porsche has a more aggressive grille compared to before. In fact, from certain angles, it had me thinking of the Nissan GT-R. They still maintained the simplicity right until here, so that's a plus. Now, this particular body paint is called Carrara White Metallic. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm not a fan of black alloys for a Porsche Panamera. I prefer the shiny alloys, like on that other Porsche Panamera I just showed you guys. Great to see that we get soft close. Now, there's a big contrast between the front door and the rear door. If you listen to the front door, the way it opens, it sounds like a real Porsche. It sounds very German. It has this metallic effect after it. Then if we listen to this door, the rear doors, they sound a bit generic. They sound like the back door of any car, basically. Having Porsche written in letters in the back, this has never changed and it better not change. This looks amazing. Now, in this area, I see a bit of a problem. You get this hard plastic right here, right next to those beautiful exhausts. You even get a nice air vent right here. Now, if we study the side very carefully, it has a more stronger Porsche Taycan vibe to it. In fact, it had me thinking it was a Porsche Taycan. All right, so now it is time to check out the interior of the Porsche Panamera. Interesting interior. So I see a strong Porsche Taycan vibe to it. Very interesting. Soft closes there, thank goodness for that. Now, compared to the previous generation, Porsche has gone down the route of complete simplicity. There's no button here apart from the hazard lights, the traction control button. See, this is another problem I've noticed now. I don't know what is it with the Volkswagen Group lately, but they've been putting their buttons at illogic locations, whereas before there was a time they were known for their organization. They were known to be very organized. So such buttons like the traction control button would be hidden in this area. But for some reason in Porsche, it's right next to the hazard lights. So just be very careful with what button you press, because you do not want to be pressing that traction control button. For the rest, the transmission is here this time, and it's a knob. What's a bit bizarre is that given that this is a Porsche Panamera, the steering wheel pallets are very small. But I like the feel of it. It feels like metal. Oh my goodness, I like the sound. This is excellent. I like it. Driving mode is right on the steering wheel. Oh, this is rather sporty. The steering wheel has a perfect feel to it. I absolutely like it. Size is excellent. The feel is excellent. The leather squidginess is good. It's not very squidgy, but it's excellent. Just what I expect for a car with a sporty background. Now, steering adjustment. It's not all pink roses. We still have to cover. Unique system right here. Okay. There's a little knob right down there. You have to pull it towards you, or you can push it to have the steering wheel go away. Up, down. You can move the steering wheel up, down, in and out. That's great. Okay, perfect. No complaints. Seating adjustment is electric. That's brilliant. And I also like the door handle. The door handle is good, very firm. The window buttons are good, but they look like they've been a bit of an afterthought. They look very plain, but I like how everything is all squarish. That's interesting. Oh, and the that's good. I like the door handle as well. And then you get extra buttons right there for your seating memory and the door lock. And Porsche traditionally puts the start stop button on this side, at the door side, okay? So this is good, excellent. So far so good. I'm very impressed with the interior. I like that detailing right there near the passenger side. Reminds me of the rear of the Porsche itself. And as for air vents, they've been really innovative about it. They've been very creative. It's excellent. I like it. And of course, how can I forget, you get a clock right up there, just like other premium competitors. I'm still convinced this is supposed to pick a fight with the S-Class. I'm convinced about this because, let's be realistic, S-Class with the AMG kit to it, that car can pick a fight with the Porsche Panamera, except the Porsche Panamera will still be nicer because it's sporty, whereas the S-Class is a limousine. Now back to the interior, everyone. First thing I noticed up here is that you get a sunroof, which is excellent, but the bad news is there's no storage space for your glasses. Come on, Porsche. Why does nobody have sunglasses up there? And now this is your center console storage. The size is huge of the cover and it's adjustable right here. Oh, look. The storage space is not very deep, but it's flexible. It's good enough. And you get a 12-volt socket in there. That's excellent. 2 cup holders that are just sitting there exposed. The size of the cup holders are amazing. They're adjustable, but the problem is, I've noticed that this in the Porsche Taycan and also in certain Audi models, despite the price range, they like to have their cup holders exposed. No cover onto them, nothing. Why? Come on, you need to cover these things. Anyways, you get a little storage space right here for your wireless cell phone recharge, and there's 2 charging ports in there. And as for storage space, that's about it. And the door bin has this linear effect to it. You get the Bose sound system right there, and then a bottle holder. Oh, it can fit a bottle. I'm actually convinced about that. And the deep storage space. Okay, decent. When it comes to technology like the infotainment system, they are a bit more on the humble side compared to Audi. Now, back seat of the Porsche Panamera. Oh, righty. So, first impression, I have to say that the back seat is interesting. My foot space is surprisingly less, but that can also depend on the seating adjustments of the front passenger and also the driver. The back of the seat is a bit on the firm side, I'd say. And although it's designed in such a way for your knee space and everything. Okay, fair enough. Headrest is on the firm side, but I get enough headroom. It's fair. Now, when it comes to the area right here, 2 air vents and a little storage space down there, and I'm assuming this is supposed to be, well, additional controls, climate controls, I'm not sure. Now you get a nice armrest right here. This armrest is for your cup holder as well. The cup holders are placed in this fashion, so it's, and the armrest is very narrow. For the Porsche Panamera, it's all about sportiness. Forget about the limousine aspect. In this regard, the Mercedes S-Class, the BMW 7 Series and the Audi A8 would certainly beat the Porsche Panamera. Now it is time to check out the boot space of the Porsche Panamera. Now, it should be noted that there's a huge lip right here. There's a lot of elevation. The good news is it looks nice, it's beautiful, but the bad news is just be careful that the body paint is exposed a bit here and on the other side there. In the middle, it's okay, but still. So in long terms, just be very careful with your luggage, especially with the license plate exposed right here. You don't want to make contact with any of these, especially if your luggage is heavy. But then you get this elevation of plastic right here with the metal plating. The boot space of the Porsche Panamera is very similar to that of the Mercedes S-Class and the Audi A8. But the very big difference is that because of its crossback design, fastback design, you have additional space over here. Whereas the Mercedes S-Class and the likes of the limousines, they have a very sedan effect to them. So additional volume of space right here. And you get a 12-volt socket right there, a belt right there, little additional storage space right there with a net. Excellent. When it comes to practicality, it's good here in the back. And, oh, okay, had me thinking there was additional storage space underneath there. So here's my conclusion of the Porsche Panamera. For a price of 148,000 euros, this Porsche Panamera is good value for money. Well, actually, in terms of value for money, it's very difficult to talk about this, especially when we're looking at this price range. This is the premium segment. At this point, it wasn't entirely clear for me who it's competing against. I'm still convinced, though, it's competing against the limousines from Mercedes, like the S-Class and the BMW 7 Series, with the sporty kit, obviously. But if they don't have sporty kits, this already has the trump card, and that is it's sporty in its nature. I absolutely love this Porsche Panamera. But my heart still remains with the Porsche Taycan Cross. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, and I will see you all next time. Let me know in the comments section what you all think of this Porsche Panamera.